What's up, everybody? I am Sully Erna, and you are on BackstageAxxess.com, where the real show begins.
BackstageAxxess.com. We are here at the Riviera Theater in North Tonawanda with the one and only Sully Erna. We could say he's with Godsmack, but right now he's on a solo tour, right?
Yes, I am.
So Sully Erna, soloist. He's got a whole outfit here tonight doing the Avalon tour. It's his last solo album that came out last October. Tell us about this experience and how the CD came about to the tour.
That's a long story. You sure you have enough tape?
Well, tell us, why don't we go into, we know how the CD came about, but why, the tour, how did the tour came about and your players and, how it's going so far?
I'll give you the nutshell version of it. The band happened pretty organically because I had known Lisa for a little over 18 years, and I met Niall Gregory through Dead Can Dance, and we all kind of talked about starting this project and having something very earthly and primitive and hand drumming and, everything very kind of acoustic and organic. And Lisa knew one of the guitar players. He knew the keyboard player. We met the cello player during a studio session. And one by one, everyone kind of brought in a member as we figured out that we needed a new instrument. Would be like, oh, we knew someone who plays cello. So that's kind of how the whole thing was derived. And then, of course, it was just a big experimentation. And the more the record came to life, we started to really, really love what we were doing with the whole thing. And, of course, as soon as my schedule allowed it, we decided to take it on tour and let people see it and touch it and feel it for themselves. Because it's just a very vibey, kind of different thing. It's kind of what it was back in the day when, Pink Floyd was doing Dark Side of the Moon and those kind of records where it just took you on this very visual, musical journey. And that's really what Avalon is about. It's about the music.
Now, how obviously it was one of the last nights of the tour. How is it being receptive by the audience, and how is it going for you guys? Feeling it from the audience. It's
going really, really well. I mean, of course, it's still in its development stages, so it's building. And I'm really anticipating the day where we have really a much bigger draw and that kind of thing. But I got to tell you, we haven't seen one bad review. We haven't heard one bad thing. Even the people that come blind thinking that it might be Sully doing acoustic versions of Godsmack like I did last time, were taken back. But at the end of the show, we're just like, wow, we had no idea. We hadn't heard the record yet. This was really amazing. And so it's gotten great feedback so far, and we couldn't ask for anything better at this point, really.
And for people out there, Sully Erna did his first solo show not too far from here, about 20 minutes in Niagara Falls, and I'm sure tonight's probably will go a lot less strenuous for you because you were kind of nervous at the last one.
And plus we got this thing dialed in. I think you've seen the first one.
I did see the first show, yes.
Might have been the first, right?
Yeah, it was the first show in Niagara Falls.
I about crapped my pants on that one because that was the first time I ever walked onto a stage by myself with an acoustic guitar and figured out how to entertain an audience for 90 minutes. So, but this is different. This is an 8-piece ensemble. Everybody's a multi-instrumentalist. They're amazing musicians. We've created one hell of a record here, and we really believe in it. There's a really great video package, lighting package, and it's just a very cool, vibey show, and it's for sure for music lovers. You know, this isn't about pyro and how high someone can jump off the drum riser. This is about sitting down and watching a very theatrical performance and watching 8 different musicians go at it at the same time. Pretty cool.
Basically an evening with Sully Erna, and that's what it's billed as. And we're talking about it's one of the last nights of the tour, but you're possibly going to be taking this again maybe later this year, correct?
Yeah, because this first leg was East Coast through the Midwest, and now we have to take it Midwest through the West Coast as well. So, yeah, the plan is to try to get up and running, maybe even start on the East, down in the Carolinas or something, go down to Florida, and then cut across Texas in that way. But, again, it's still, developing, and we're still trying to figure out the rest of the timeline for the year, because Godsmack obviously has some responsibilities to do as well.
Now, probably for our East, Europe and Eastern fans out there in Japan and whatnot.
Yay.
What possibly taking this out that way or
would
no?
Love to. Would absolutely love to. We're talking about it. We have to try to find a way to get out there first because obviously, as I said, it's a development project. It's still building itself. It's still in baby stages. But as soon as we get some offers from Europe or from Japan or wherever, even South America and that side, I would love to take this thing international. So I got to tell you, if there's a way to kind of even get an anchor date and try to build a small tour around that, I would be honored to go out there and visit. I think this will actually even do better internationally than it may do in America. Right. So I'm really, really anxiously anticipating getting out into the international part of the world.
As Sully was referred to, he's got Godsmack duties, and you guys are going to be doing a big tour this summer with them and doing with Megadeth on the Metal Mayhem tour, correct?
Yep.
Is that like a month and a half worth of dates with that, or 2 months?
Yeah, it's July, August, half August, and then we're probably going to continue for a few more weeks and do Canada into Alaska on our own.
New music-wise, either through Godsmack, from the Oracle, obviously it came out last year, or even working on Avalon, is there going to be a possibility of you working any type of new music coming up in the future?
Always a possibility. I'm always writing. I don't know when I'm going to actually start digging in to put something on a new record. But for now, I still have to complete touring on the Oracle, and for sure Avalon is my priority project right now. Right. And so I'm gonna just ride this one out until I feel like there's no more legs left to stand on, and then I'm gonna go back in. I'll write another Godsmack record, and I'll write another solo record.
Okay, so obviously Sully's really busy and going to be finishing up this tour and doing a Godsmack tour and then going back out with a solo band. And before we're going to let him go, we're going to ask him, because tomorrow is a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals for the Bruins, and he is a Boston native. Predictions?
Well, I don't like to make predictions. I can only cross my fingers and hope to God that the Bruins take it down. I know that Vancouver has never had it, but I still don't sympathize with them because I am a Boston boy. I'm a Boston brat, and I always will be a Boston bad boy. So I want the Bruins all the way. We haven't won it since '72. I was 4 years old the last time we won the Cup. And I will just say that I think they've outplayed Vancouver in these finals. So I think they deserve it more. And I hope they just don't blow it on the last game in Vancouver, because beating them in Vancouver is tough to do. But they have outplayed them. They've outskated them. They've outshot them. They've outscored them. So I just think with a lot of heart and a lot of defense, I think they can take this Cup tomorrow. Okay.
Wrapping up here, you heard it right from the Boston native, Sully Erna. And check out Avalon when it comes to your town, and definitely pick up the new CD, because it is really, really cool CD. It's totally different. As Sully said, it's a different vibe from what he's been doing in the past, so you definitely want to check it out. Sully Erna, thanks for taking time to talk to us at BackstageAxxess.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
I still